Okay, so today I'm working on a turn signal switch for a 2007 Chrysler Town & Country. And so we went ahead and already got everything removed. First, check out the video from A1. It's awesome on how to remove the switch. This is the top of the case. There's no spot for a screw there. However, on the bottom, you see there's 3 holes. It's a regular Phillips screwdriver, and the little screws look like this to get the case apart. Then you have 2 screws like this that hold the turn signal in. You're going to have them here, and if I can get the lighting right, down here. So up here and down here, 2 screws, and a clip that holds it in. So once you've got it removed, it's a matter of diagnosing what's wrong with the switch. Now, they want $45 to replace this switch because it is a multi-function switch. It's got your headlights and all that stuff. And it's easy to fall into the trap of let's just go buy a new one. But if you have the proper tools and the know-how, you can generally fix these. Here you have a Torx head screw, and there. And so they are running in at a T10 Torx head. So I'm going to go ahead and zip those out of there. So I'll set my camera down for you on this one. And just gently with my impact gun, because you don't want to damage this. Make sure you're going in the right direction. Okay, and so just like that, we've got our screws removed. So take off the 2 Torx heads. And let me get my first perspective back here. Now, what we can do is take this little plate off here. Now, I've already went ahead and repaired this. And so on the inside of this spring was broken. And you can see here's the chunk of spring that had to be removed. So now, where in the world are you going to buy a spring like that? Because without that spring, you're paying $45. And so, let me give you a little insight as to how I did this. And so you just need a regular pair of dikes, and you take your old spring, and you just try to grab just the top rung. And there I grabbed too much. And in doing so, you can bend it back. And so now, I'll show you what I did with the spring, is I have bent it back. Come on, camera, zoom. How about let's get some focus on this. And so I've added a circular head to this side. And there's also the factory circular head there. Now this one was way shorter than the piece that I had reused. And so once you've done that, it's just a matter of properly threading it back through that turn signal switch and getting it attached to those 2 pegs. You can go ahead and slide your piece back on, and we'll go ahead and set the camera down to get my Torx head back in. It is also extremely greasy, so have some paper towel handy as long as you're out in the garage. I hope that you always have paper towel. And once again, really, really gentle. In fact, probably somebody's going to be upset with me for having used my impact gun, but I'm pretty good with this thing. I don't really generally have too much issue. I'm pretty good with feathering the throttle on it. Okay, and so here's our intact turn signal switch. And so if I go ahead and press down on that little springy part, you'll see that it actually does sink in there and turn the signal up, and now it's got some spring to it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and replace this into the car, and click that right there. And so that has no problems. You just go ahead and line that screw hole up. Try to get this contrast right. Line that screw hole up right there with the turn signal, and it's our 2 fat screws. So I just drop those in real quick with a regular Phillips head screwdriver. It's like, oh yeah, I used my impact gun for them Torx head. Why didn't I use my impact here? Too lazy to change the bits. I already had the screwdriver taken care of. And once you get these screws tightened down, feel a little bit of cross threading on this. You probably be careful with that. In case this spring is definitely going to be running out of life soon. But instead of going to spend $45 now, it only takes 10 minutes to change this thing. And so here we go. Turn the vehicle on, and right hand turn signal, turn right, and it resets. Turn left, and it resets. Perfect. Check our functionality of all these things before we go ahead and take it back out on the road. I want to go ahead and plug my plug back in and try my high beams. And so probably have to turn the ignition on. There goes our high beam light. Left hand turn signal, right hand turn signal, windshield wipers, and we're back together. And so again, I mean, I might only get another year and a half out of this switch because that spring is really definitely in some bad shape. It's half the length that it should be, or at least 2/3 of the length it should be, and certainly it's going to be something that I'm going to want to replace down the road. But in the meantime, having saved myself $45 to have a functional turn signal switch, 195,000 miles on the vehicle, probably prudent that I go ahead and attempt this method and get these 3 screws put back in here, and we'll be done. Hope you enjoyed. See you out there. Have a good time.